Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me for today's at-home upper body and deep core Pilates workout. In today's routine, we're going to be sculpting and strengthening our upper body muscles, arms and back. We're going to be working deep into the core, building strength, tone, and definition. I'm going to be using a set of hand weights. These are 3-pound hand weights. You can go heavier, you can go lighter, depending on your level of strength. If you have a set of ankle weights, those will work too for resistance. You can put them around your wrists. We are going to be including a brief warm-up and cool down, so with that in mind, let's get right into this quick and effective workout. I'm going to place my weights off to the side to begin with. We're going to move into an all fours position. I'd like you to walk your hands out in front of your shoulders, fingers are spread. Bring your big toes together, take the knees nice and wide. We're going to inhale to prepare. And exhale, sink the hips back toward the heels, stretching and lengthening through the spine. Inhale, come forward, shoulders above wrists. Exhale, send those hips back, stretching through the spine. Inhale, forward, and exhale, plug belly in and lengthen through that tailbone. Inhale and exhale. Now, as you come forward, I want you to have nice broad shoulders, and then stretch and lengthen back, pulling your navel in towards your spine and lengthening out through that tailbone. Mobilizing the spine, powering up through those shoulders, mobilizing the shoulders as you move between the two positions. Let's go 3 and 2, stretch and lengthen, and last 1. Come forward, bring the knees and the feet so that they are parallel, hip distance apart. We're going to inhale here and exhale, take the right arm back, stretch and lengthen, and lower. Take the left arm back, stretch and lengthen, and lower, alternating sides. Nice, getting a lot of length through those fingers, opening through the chest, rotating. And last one each side, really stretch and lengthen a little bit further. And last one, lengthen and bring it back down. Curl the toes, pike the hips up toward the ceiling, and stretch out the spine. Lift the hips a bit higher, scoop belly in. Breathing deeply here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the knees down to the floor. Roll out the shoulders for 3, 2, and 1. Come forward. Lower your hands down to the mat. Step your right foot back. Step your left foot back. Power up through those shoulders. Hold in a high plank. Nice flat line with the body for 10, 9, 8. Pulling belly to spine. Nice broad shoulders for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I want you to slowly bend at the elbows, lower your knees if you need to, and lower all the way down to the mat. Amazing. Now I'd like you to bring your weights with you so that you have them handy. We're going to stretch the arms out long and lower the weights down to the floor. From this position, I'm going to place my hands on my weights. I'm not going to use them for this first move. We want to be really elongated through the spine, gazes on the floor. I'd like you just to hover your chest and your forehead up off the mat. Legs are about hip distance apart. We're going to inhale here and exhale. Pull the elbows back, lengthen through the spine and contract the upper back muscles. Inhale forward, we touch the weights. Exhale, we pull back. Inhale forward and exhale, pull it back. So really warming up those upper back muscles as we knit the shoulder blades together. We're also lifting the abdominal wall, tightening the core, and lengthening out through the crown of the head. Keep your gaze down on the mat. Good. Let's start to build the energy and the power in those upper back muscles. For 5 and 4, squeeze shoulder blades together. 3, pull it back. 2, and 1, and lower. Now I'm going to hold on to my weights here. I'm going to inhale to prepare, and I'm going to exhale to pull my right elbow back. Now I'd like you to keep your gaze down on the mat as you do so, then pull your left elbow back. Good. Keeping your gaze down on the floor, pulling back. Try not to let your lower body shift from side to side. You want to be really isolating this work in your upper back muscles. So we're pulling back, keeping the body in a nice straight line as you do so. Really hovering the chest up off the floor, contracting those upper back muscles as you pull back. Little split second hold before straightening the arm and lowering the weight. Good, so we're alternating sides here, really pulling back with power and energy. Good, tightening the core as you do so and breathing out. Good, let's go 6 and 5, pull it back for 4, last 3, last 2, and we're gonna go one more each side. Pull back and pull it back. Amazing work. Take the weights under the shoulders and push up through the fists, bringing yourself into an all fours position. Nicely done. Now from here, I'd like you to come to the top of your mat so you've got space to extend your leg out behind you. We're going to start off with this right arm. So the knees are below the hips, fists are below the shoulders, shoulders are broad, core is plugged in. We're gonna lift the right arm and lower. Lift the right arm and lower. So your hand is turned inward toward the body. You're tensing the muscles in the upper back and in the back of the arm as you lift and lower. Now your aim here is to keep your shoulders level with the mat. Try not to open up on that right side. Nice work. Really lift that arm. 2 and 1. Now we're going to add the left leg. So we're going to extend through the left leg, square the hips and the shoulders with the mat. We're going to lift and lower, plugging navel in toward the spine as we breathe out. Now, if you're losing balance and stability here, I'd like you to just lower your leg and keep it down on the mat, keep your foot down on the mat, and just focus on that right arm as you lift and lower. Good, tighten the core with every lift. Pull belly to spine. Let's go 4, 3, 2, amazing work, and last 1. Now from here, we're gonna bring the weight forward, again, keeping those shoulders level. We're gonna lift, keeping the foot down on the floor, and then we're gonna lift back. So we're gonna straighten the arm, and then we're going to straighten out behind. Good, keeping the fist turned in. Straighten and pull back. Straighten the arm, core is tight, and pull it back. Amazing work. So lengthen torso height and pull back. Lifting that arm, flexing the triceps. Good. Let's go 4. Keep the gaze down on the mat. 3, nice tight core. 2, really pull back and straighten the arm. And last 1, hold it there and pulse up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Amazing work. Let's take the knees nice and wide for a moment. Relax the hands down on the floor and stretch out in child's pose, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. That was tough, but amazing work on that side. Now we're going to switch over and do the other side. So I'd like you to come into that all fours position, knees below the hips, wrists below the shoulders, core is tight, really plug belly in, slightly tuck the tailbone so you're not overarching in the spine. We're gonna lift that left arm and lower, lift and lower. Really switching our focus onto the left side now. Triceps working as we lift that weight up toward the ceiling. Good, let's go 5, 4, nice tight core, keep those shoulders level. 2, and 1. Nicely done. Now we're going to stretch the right leg out long, pull navel in toward the spine, and continue. Remember, if it's too much with that leg elevated, simply keep that toe, that foot down on the mat. Good. Really lift that arm up nice and straight. Let's go 6, 5, 4, lift a little higher, squeeze the glute as you do so as well. 2, and 1, nicely done. Now from here, we're extending the arm out long, level out those shoulders, and pull it back. Extend, and pull it back. Extend, and pull back. Flex those triceps. Good. Amazing. Give it a lot of energy. Pull back with force. Let's go 5 and 4. Keep the trunk nice and stable. 3, engage the core. 2, and last 1, pull back, hold it here. Pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Oh my goodness, those were tough. Well done for making it through that set. Let's roll the shoulders back and take a couple of deep breaths for 3 and 2 and 1. Nicely done. Okay, now we're gonna go into some bicep curls. I'm gonna kneel for this. You can be standing with your feet hip distance apart if you would prefer. The spine is nice and long, the core is engaged, chin is parallel with the floor. We're gonna bring the arms up to shoulder height, lengthening, palms are turned in. Inhale here, keeping the upper arms level and stationary. We're gonna pull the weight back toward the shoulders. Good work. Extend, bend, extend, keeping those arms parallel, keeping the gaze straight ahead and those shoulders down away from your ears. You want to try to keep those upper arms at shoulder height the entire time, not letting them drop. Good. Nice stable upper arms. Let's go 6. Nice tight core. Good. For 3. Good control. Nice long neck. And last 1 and lower it down. Amazing. Now from here, I'm going to bring the weights together. Deep breath. We're going to bring the weight overhead. And then we're going to bend at the elbows, keeping the upper arms perpendicular with the floor. Straighten the arms and lower the weight to the thighs. We're going to lift, keep those weights together, bend at the elbows, focus on the triceps as you extend the arms, and then lower. Good. Lift, bend at the elbows, tricep extension, then lower down. So by keeping the arms, the weights squeezing together like this, we're working into the chest muscles and the shoulders as we lift and lower, and then we're focusing on those triceps as we push the weight back up toward the ceiling. Good. Lift, bend, extend, and lower. 5 more. Lift, bend, extend, and lower. You're doing great. Plug navel in. Try not to lean back as you bring that weight overhead. You want to keep the torso really stable, the core engaged. Good. Last 2. Lift, bend, extend, and lower. Last one, we're going to lift, bend, extend. Then we're going to hold it here. Upper arms are straight up and down. We're going to bend, extend. Bend, extend, bend, extend. Try not to let the elbows splay out to the sides, keeping the upper arms framing the side of the head, focusing on those triceps as you lift and lower the weight. Nice tall spine, gaze straight ahead. Let's go 5, you can do it. 4, 3, I know it's tough. 2, Final 1. And relax it down. Let's take some nice restorative arm circles here. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Circling and shrugging away tension for 3 and 2, regulating the breath, and last 1. Nicely done. So that was upper body focus. We got the shoulders, we got the triceps, biceps. Now we're gonna focus our attention on our abs. Our arms are still gonna be working here too. If at any time it gets too much with the weights in the hands, you can do this part of the workout weightless and just focus on your abs and your core engagement. So we're gonna start off with the weights over the shoulders. The knees are bent, the spine is in neutral. We're going to inhale here and we're gonna move into some slow crunches as we exhale. Arms come by sides. Inhale, lower. Exhale, curl and crunch up. So if you haven't got weights, you're just gonna have long fingers here, reaching through your fingers as you curl up, bringing those shoulder blades up off the floor and really connecting your breath with your core engagement. Inhale to lower, exhale, peel up, pulling your navel in towards your spine and lifting through your pelvic floor. Good. Notice I'm not rushing it. I'm holding with that core engaged at the top of the lift and then slowly lowering down. Mind muscle connection with those deep core muscles as we breathe out and draw that navel in. For 2. Amazing. And last 1. And lower down. Now we're going to add the legs. So we're going to inhale here. And as we exhale, we're going to bring the legs to tabletop and then lower, bringing the weight over the shoulders, feet onto the floor. Legs stay hip distance apart here. Curl and crunch up, pull belly to spine and lower. Now as you crunch up, I want you to peel head, neck, and shoulders up to the point where just the bottom of your scapula are touching the mat and your head is resting on top of your shoulders. Looking out between your inner thighs with every crunch, with every lift. Good. Let's go 6 and 5. Keep it slow. Really control it on the way down as well as on the way up for 4. Soften feet to the floor. 3. Lower down 1 vertebra at a time. 2. And final 1. Nice. Now from here, we're going to bring the legs into tabletop. We're going to glue the inside of the feet together and then we're going to open the knees wide so that we're creating a diamond shape with the legs. Now from here, we're going to inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to curl up, squeeze the legs together as we do so. Lower, widen the knees into that diamond shape and curl up, squeeze legs together. So you're keeping the inside of the feet glued together the entire time. You're lowering, widening the knees, and as you come up, you're squeezing the calves, squeezing the knees, squeezing the thighs together, creating a tight seam running up the middle of your body. I want you to add that pelvic floor engagement if you haven't already. So lower, relax, exhale, tighten the core, lift through the pelvic floor. Good. Amazing. Again, if it ever gets too much with the weights, just drop them off. You'll still get in a good ab workout without them. Good. For 3, squeeze those legs together. 2, and final 1. We're gonna hold here, open and close the knees. Open and close, resting head on top of the shoulders or lowering head, neck, and shoulders down to the mat if this is too much to hold. Inhale and exhale, drawing both sides of your rectus abdominis together as you squeeze those legs together. Give me 5, 4, lift up a little higher into your crunch if you can. 2, and one. Amazing work. Lower down. Now from here, we're going to lift the weight over the shoulders and we're going to go into some extensions. So we're going to widen those knees and then we're going to curl and crunch up and squeeze the legs together. Widen the knees, keep the inside of the feet together, and then lift, reach up toward the toes with those weights. Widen and crunch up, squeezing legs together. Widen the knees and crunch up, extend, really point hard through the toes. Widen and squeeze legs together. Again, you can eliminate head, neck, and shoulders lifting. If it's getting to be a little too much, you can do your repetitions with head, neck, and shoulders down on the mat, like so. Otherwise, you're adding that crunch in, really working into those upper abs. Good. For 3, 2, lift and extend. And last 1. And bring your knees in towards your chest. And take a couple of deep breaths here. Feels good to drop off the weights for a moment as well. Just relax those arms. You can gently rock from side to side, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Okay. Few more exercises here for the core. We're going to go into a dead bug variation. So I'm bringing the weights over the shoulders, bringing the legs into tabletop. Legs are about hip distance apart here. Now from this position, I'm going to extend my right arm and my left leg. Then I'm going to lift, lower, lift back to tabletop. So I'm extending opposite leg. 1, 2, to tabletop, weight comes back over shoulder. Opposite arm and leg, 1, 2, back to tabletop. So find that coordination, move slowly to begin with, or slowly the whole time as needed. Good. And really focus on that core engagement as you lift and lower that leg, and then draw belly to spine as you bring the leg back to tabletop. Now, if you're feeling strong here, you could do a few reps with head, neck, and shoulders lifted. If not, no need to push it. Lift, lower, lift, tabletop. Lift, lower, lift, tabletop. Good, nice coordination. I know it's tough. Your brain's working, your body's working, but you're doing great. Stick with it. Don't worry if you mess a couple of repetitions up, just try to get back into the pattern. Last 2 reps. Last 1 each side. And lift, lower, lift, tabletop. Amazing. Bring knees in. Right, now, we're gonna work those lower abs. Again, we can lose the weight if you would like to. We're going to bring the weight overhead. We're gonna curl and crunch in, lifting the tailbone up off the mat. So it looks like this. Legs are squeezing together. We bring the legs to tabletop and then we draw them in toward the chest, lifting the tailbone as we lift the weights to the side. We're gonna do a couple reps like this and then we're gonna pick up the level of challenge if you're ready for it. Good, last 1. Now, if you want to pick up the level of challenge, you're gonna come in, extend, and in. So either stick with the version we were just doing or pick up the challenge by extending the legs between each rep. Whew, working the center of the abs, working the lower abs. Upper abs are engaged here too. It's a total core move. Let's go 5. Lift that tailbone. 4, scoop belly in. 3, you're doing so well. 2, last 1. and lower the weights. Take your right hand over your right knee, left hand over your left knee, and circle those knees in opposite directions. Taking a bit of a breather here before we move into our final exercise for the obliques. So we really want to make sure that we get the obliques in before we finish off and stretch. We're going to lower the feet down to the floor, and we're going to look at a couple of different variations of this movement. So I'm going to take just one weight. I'm going to take it in my left hand, and I'm going to place my right hand behind my head. So I'm going to use my right hand to support my head. I'm going to extend the right leg out long, and I'm going to take the left hand up and over the shoulder. Now from here, we're going to inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to bring that right knee in toward the chest, pressing low back down to the mat, and crossing left arm over right thigh. Good. Inhale, extend. Exhale, cross over. Really tightening in through the waistline, pulling the navel in, and pressing the low back down onto the mat. So we don't want our hips swaying from side to side here or being pulled in the right direction. We want to keep those hips in the center of the mat. Good. Now, if you're ready to extend the level of challenge, we're going to extend the opposite leg out long and carry on with the movement. If that's too much, keep your left foot flat on the floor. Good. I know this is tough. Work into that waistline. Really challenge yourself by picking that left shoulder blade up off the floor, but not so you're losing control. Remember, you're keeping that lower back centered and on the mat. Let's go 4, 3, amazing, 2, and 1. We're gonna hold, bend, extend, for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring both knees in and lower down. Put both feet on the floor. Now we're going to take the weight in the right hand, left hand supports the head. We're going to extend that leg out long, bring the weight over the shoulder, and then cross over. Bring the knee in toward the chest. Full extension of the leg between each repetition. Good. Really crossing over and working into those obliques. Moving with the breath. If you're feeling really strong here and you want to pick up the level of challenge, extend the opposite leg and carry on. Good. Amazing. Pick that right shoulder blade up off the floor. You've got this. We're so close to finishing off. Good. For 4, and 3, and 2, and final 1. Hold, bend, extend, bend, extend. Let's go 6, 5, 4, abs in, 3, holding that crunch, 2, and 1. Keep both legs extended and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower legs down to the mat. Whew, total burnout for that core. Felt very challenging, but super effective. So let's roll over onto our stomachs now and get into position for a very well-deserved stretch. Take your hands on either side of your shoulders, peel up either onto your forearms or all the way up onto those palms, stretching out your abdominal wall, breathing through this stretch. So breathing deeply in through your nose and slowly exhaling through the mouth, feeling the stretch running all the way through those abs for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. We're going to bring ourselves up. Take the knees nice and wide. Bring big toes together. Walk hands forward, keeping hips elevated. Send the hips back, but keep them elevated as you lower your forehead to the mat, stretching and lengthening through those shoulders. I want you to really visualize your spine lengthening with every breath. For 3 and 2 and 1. We're gonna lift ourselves up, sit with the legs crossed or kneeling if that's more comfortable for you. Move that weight out of the way. From here, we're going to lower the right hand down to the floor, reach up and over with those left fingers, stretching through the side body. Reach a bit further for 3, 2, and 1. Recenter. From here, we're gonna lift up on the opposite side and reach and stretch over. Lengthening, feels good. Stretch out those obliques, lengthen through the fingertips for 2 and 1. Now we're gonna stretch out our shoulders. Bring your right arm across your chest. Apply a little bit of pressure to the back of the arm. Breathing deeply in through the nose and out through the mouth. Good, let's switch sides, crossing over. Apply a little bit more pressure, deepening the stretch, lengthening up through the crown of the head for 3, 2, and 1. Lift your shoulders up by your ears, inhale, and exhale, roll them back. Let's take 2 more shoulder rolls. Good, and last one. Amazing work. That was super challenging. My arms were burning, my abs were burning. I hope you felt it too. Well done for making it through. You've done really good things for your body today. I look forward to moving again with you next time. So see you soon.